welcome the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions.
Yeah. And
Speaking of the end, so Paul Heyman returned. How'd you feel about that?
well, yeah, on the subject of predictability, a Paul Heyman return was kind of inevitable at some point, and I think this was probably the best time to do it. And what they did, I thought this was extremely effective. I love the Paul Heyman return,
I love it
and
too.
he didn't say too much. It was pretty much him just brokering, hey, I'm here, CM Punk is with me. And I think next week what I would really love to see is them to address why Paul's phone, well, he didn't answer the phone, and maybe have some exchange between Roman and Punk talking prior to the match. Outside of what they did, I think as for what they did, because that promo exchange with the two bloodlines and then the addition of CM Punk, because CM Punk came in all guns blazing. He came in there wrapping his fist and bust Bronson Reed in the mouth. I am kind of curious to how come he didn't hit Solo Sikoa. I understand for the optics standpoint, he can't cross over. Like, this isn't a football play where you can, cross over and block the man that's not directly in front of you. He had to, whatever. I understand like from the optics standpoint, but just from a logical standpoint, it makes more sense for him to go after Solo Sikoa. Bronson Reed just got put in the storyline last week. He had jack shit to do with it. He didn't hurt Paul Heyman. So that was odd. But I did like the icing on the cake in CM Punk. For one, he wasn't out there doing like the honorary Oos thing, putting his ones up. He wasn't saluting Roman. He wasn't acknowledging him. He did his own thing. And then even after, I'm terrible at reading lips, Josh. I could make out that Roman asked CM Punk, "Why are you here?" And I couldn't see what CM Punk was doing, but I saw his hand gestures, and he was pretty much saying that he's here for Paul, and that makes perfect sense. I do like that. He is a very timely addition to the storyline. It makes a lot of sense. Like, a lot of people were saying this doesn't make sense, but as we saw, I posted this on Threads, I found that clip from when Paul Heyman was being held hostage and Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, they fought off the bloodline before and they had the spat with Solo Sikoa. And that makes a ton of sense. There is a logical connection there. And I'm all for it. It makes way more sense than Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins doesn't make any sense if we want to talk about him for a moment, because he's the one that broke up the Shield initially. So they're trying to present him as being the babyface in the dynamic with Roman, but ultimately, Seth Rollins, they've had like a weird storyline because he broke up the Shield, then he betrayed him again to join with the Authority, or no, when he was with the Authority, then he cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on him. Then they reconciled later on. Now they're beefing again when he became the Tribal Chief. And I mean, I understand story arcs and things of that nature, but you're not going to convince me that Seth Rollins is a good guy. If anything, they're both heels.
Roman and Seth?
Yes. In their specific dynamics with each other. Seth Rollins might be a face on the show, but he's an absolute bastard when it comes to Roman Reigns.